Welcome to the University of the Ozarks Podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and I'm here today with current Ozarks student, Cody Williamson. Hey, Cody, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm good.
Good, good. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from?
I am from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Okay.
It is, I would say, the second biggest city in Arkansas. It's home to the U of A. It's a college town. It's a pretty interesting place to grow up. They're very different than the rest of the state.
So then what drew you to move from Fayetteville here to Clarksville to attend Ozarks?
Oh, I would definitely say the university.
Okay.
Definitely the University of Ozarks was this kind of hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a smaller town, but it was one of the universities that I looked at when I first started touring universities, and I fell in love with the school.
Okay.
I definitely fell in love with it. Me being from Fayetteville, I could have, went home, but I thought this was kind of home for me. It definitely grew into that for me.
And what are you studying? What are your majors and minors?
I am a political science major.
Okay.
And, I'm a history minor and a health science minor, so double minor, yeah.
Double minor. What is it about political science that draws you to it?
I like changing, our environment for the better.
Yeah.
And I think politics can influence that in a positive way, and working together in a nonpartisan way would be kind of my goal in life. And so that's kind of what I set out to do.
And history kind of ties into the political science?
Oh, yeah. Just learning history, you can kind of learn from either mistakes or learn from triumphs, or just kind of learn from comparison on what you should do moving forward, or, responses in the past, so you can know what to do moving forward.
Was political science your dream always as a kid, or did you want to be like an astronaut when you were younger?
No, I actually wanted to be an Air Force pilot.
Really?
I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but they were like, "You're too tall. We make our planes a certain length, and you won't fit." And I'm sorry. They're like, "You can launch the plane though. Like you can help launch the plane." I was like, "I want to fly it." And I watched Top Gun too many times, and so yeah. But after that, I started wrestling, and then I was kind of focused on wrestling and a little bit of history.
Okay.
I always liked history, but yeah, it was mostly I was a sports guy.
When did you start attending Ozarks?
I started attending Ozarks in 2022.
Okay.
So 2 years ago. I transferred here from University of Little Rock, University of Arkansas, Little Rock. And so it was quite a bigger school. I was going partially online. I decided to make the full time in person. I called and I was like, "Do you have any online?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm diving right in after being half online. It'll be fine." So I fell in love with it. Fell in love with my professors. My political science professor, he's been like a mentor to me. And same way with graduates that work at City Hall. They've been like mentors.
So there's like a really solid community of graduates that you can connect with.
Oh, absolutely. Just as far as our network goes, at City Hall, you can go meet with like the mayor, and our judge was even alumni too, and he spoke at our homecoming event. So it's a very close network, and they always come back for homecoming, or they always come back for an opening or something. So there's definitely always somebody here.
That's cool.
There's a lot of key figures in the community that have helped me and many other students along the way.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I have in my notes that you're a father.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
How old's the little one?
Yeah, he is 16 months.
Wow.
So, yeah.
How
Actually, sorry, he's 18 months. I get confused. When you do the months thing, it confuses me. I like the years, but they're like, you got to do the months thing. So
you have to do the months.
Okay.
When does the months thing stop?
I don't know. I thought I had a year. I was like, he's a year. And they were like, no, you have to say months. And I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, apparently, I'm just going to say it till, he's like 4, apparently, like the movie, I'll just be like, he's 48 months.
You go to 48 months.
Yeah, and so, I don't know. We'll figure it out. My grandma keeps telling me, he's months old. You can't say years. I'm like, okay.
So how has that influenced your college experience at Ozarks?
I would definitely say it influences me as I definitely try a lot of things because I bring my kid to try things, especially with kids and growing up and youth. You need to try so many things and experience and develop those memories. And so we definitely go out and we go to the games that they have. We go to a basketball game. We got to wear earmuffs, but we definitely go out and socialize and do things. And we do the jump pits that they do. I mean, there's so many activities they bring to Clarksville that there's always something to do for him and I.
What is a jump pit?
So sorry, not a jump pit, but like a bounce castle and stuff like that. They have like many different shapes. So they have a few that are like, you walk the plank and then you sword fight, like on the lone thing. You fall into the inflatable.
So, the big inflatable stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
They bring stuff like that to the university, and that helps me just kind of have activities with him. And then also I incorporate him into office hours when I work office hours at the university. So he just comes and plays around, and we've brought his bike before. We rode his bike around here. So yeah, I mean, I bring him to every aspect. I try to leave him out of classes. I try to keep off classes.
You don't want him to get an early degree?
No, he's getting too many credits too fast. He's getting cocky. But yeah, it's definitely a different experience. I definitely was very fearful of it, and then when I actually became a father, it's actually not that bad. And understanding the role of, okay, you got to split up time for this, and you got to split up time for this. It's pretty easy. You just got to make sure you do those things.
Yeah. So it's helped a lot with time management.
Oh yeah. My time management skills were pretty okay, I would say, because I was going into my junior year, but they weren't what they were now. Especially like timing of things. But yeah, I still slip up every once in a while. But yeah,
of course. Yeah. So you would say that the community here at Ozarks has really kind of collapsed around you to help you out in this time?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have friends that kind of, I don't know, they feel like family to me. They definitely have like, just wanted to take my son and like take pictures with him, and everybody wants to take pictures with him. He's kind of like a mascot, like an unofficial mascot. All the kids just think he's adorable, and he never does any wrong. And I usually can get away with pretty much anything if I bring him. So that's kind of nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So the professors here are definitely hands-on.
Yeah.
So you definitely get to meet them. You're definitely going to get to know them. I don't think any of them have like really TAs or anything like that. So in that setting, that's really gone. So you get that one-on-one. They're going to grade your paper.
Yeah.
They're going to give you actual feedback on it. That feedback, if you actually take that and apply it to your next assignment, you're going to get a better grade. And so that's how you excel as far as assignments here.
So the faculty and staff seems very invested in your success.
Oh yeah. They, from the start, they help you structure your classes and your schedule throughout the year that you're here. So they're going to help you get the credits that you need to graduate. So they're going to watch you come in as a freshman and leave as, a full degree. So
that's crazy.
It's insane, but they help you get to that process.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you're a father, former athlete, political science major, wanted to be in the Air Force.
Yeah.
But too tall. Too tall.
Too tall.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And you're also the SGA president, right?
Yeah, SGA president.
So how is that? You've already told me a ton of things that you do time-wise.
Well, I also did Model UN last year. We were able to accomplish. We got third. So yeah.
And how does Model UN work?
Model UN is you are a country and you're given a crisis or a problem, and you are tasked with solving that problem in a diplomatic way and working with other countries to solve that problem, and then setting forth a resolution. The resolution gets approved. It's just a micro idea of the real world.
So then when you guys won third place, what country were you?
We were Syria.
Really?
So we had a very hard time. Yeah. The easier the country, like you would think, like the easier the country, then, it's easier for you. The harder the country, like more controversy, then the harder it's going to be on you.
Yeah.
So we definitely had a tough time, but we made the best of our resources, and we had a lot of gifted students here. We have a lot of programs that bring in a lot of international students here.
Okay.
Such as the Walton program, and we have the Bahamas, and so those programs kind of bring in a lot of the best minds all around the country.
That's really cool.
Great.
How big is the team for Model UN that you guys go in with?
Oh, I think it was 8. Eight of us.
Okay.
8 of us. Yeah, it was very small. We all very close knit. I actually was the only one that spoke English as a first language.
Really?
So it was cool for the students to speak Spanish, and I was starting to learn a little bit, and so I learned a little bit, and so I was like, Paquito Español. So I was starting to learn enough, and they were very accommodating. They translated every time, like they started getting in conversations. So yeah, it was really nice.
So back back to your student president experience.
Oh, yeah.
So how does that work? What are your duties?
So my duties are to facilitate kind of demands between the students and the faculty. So what they want to see in their change in their student life or their academic life, they kind of present that idea to me, and then I kind of draft it up and present it to the proper resources, and we try to get it done. We also host events to drive up engagement. We just work with clubs to kind of better train them. So kind of workshops on how to train their treasurers so they spend their money right. We issue club funding, so we decide funding for all the clubs.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
So what made you want to be SGA president?
I would say what made me want to be SGA president would be able to facilitate change myself, like being able to actually see it with my actual eyes. I just wanted to be kind of a voice to the faculty.
Yeah.
I love the faculty here. It's one of the greatest faculty I've ever seen. I've worked with a lot of different ones, very hands-on people, but just seeing that aspect of it kind of made me want to be more involved and want to be more of a mouthpiece for them.
So kind of the go-between for the students and faculty to kind of make things easier for people attending classes here and for their extracurricular activities and stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, when I first came to Ozarks, I was definitely positively affected by the positive staff, the positive students, the positive environment, the people in the city that were just so nice, and so it definitely made me involved. I also noticed that when you're involved as a student, you feel like you're in a community, and you're less likely to pull away from that community. So that's kind of why I just always wanted to be involved and more involved and more involved, because I just want to help as much as I can.
Yeah, I love that. And you also have an internship with the city of Clarksville, correct?
Yes. I have an internship with economic development over at Clarksville. So yes.
What is the day-to-day with that like?
What it was is kind of just learn about how the city is planning moving forward, especially with locations and how the changes and how they want to fill this location with a retail space. They want restaurants. This restaurant wants to come in and they're looking for a size of a building. They're also going to need different, tax information. So yeah, it's just kind of working with businesses. It's you're basically the liaison there. And so, yeah. So
almost like a real life version of being the SGA president.
Kind of. It's a more serious and more moving parts thing. But absolutely, yeah. One of the guys that's over it is the head of economic development is Stephen Hauserman. He's a good friend of mine. He came from this university. He's an alumni.
That's cool.
So that's going back to that alumni network. It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you find them everywhere. So, yeah.
Okay. So you've got the internship, student body president or SGA president.
Yeah.
You've got Model UN. You've got a son. You've got time for video games. We did talk about that beforehand.
A little bit of
video games.
Late night.
How do you juggle everything and still get sleep and eat your meals? Like what is your secret to making sure that you're doing everything to the best of your ability?
I really like espresso, but no, I eat my meals. I eat my meals. I would say just having a good compassion of what's important. Obviously for me, I'm a father, so my son, if he has a doctor's appointment or anything, I'm going to call in sick for him. I'm going to go take care of him first. But I definitely try to make sure that I'm putting a good future ahead for him and for me. So definitely getting my degree was one of the biggest influences. And one of the professors here, actually, they were like, I was going to ask you if you were going to drop out, but because you announced that you were having your son, but I decided not to. And I was like, why did you decide not to? And they're like, well, now that you're having your son, you realize you have to go to college to get a degree to provide now. And so I was like, yeah, I guess that's actually a good way of looking at it. I mean, that's a good point. So, but yeah, my son loves it here. We both love it. I'm basically going to show him pictures when he grows up and kind of be like, you have to go here now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He gets 2 college experiences.
Yeah. I'm like, you're basically an alum. Just go back.
Go back to the college you graduated
get the
from.
Official degree.
Yeah. That's great. So outside of the classroom itself, what are some other lessons that you've gained from being a part of the University of Ozarks?
Oh, wow. I would say just meeting the students, and most of them want a community.
Yeah.
So I learned that when my sophomore year, I was starting to go out with a lot of students, like go to the lake, and just kind of positive experiences with these guys that will keep them engaged and keep them involved. And I will say that 100% of those guys came back, and they kept coming back, and they kept coming back. And so that's kind of why engagement's so big to me, is just being involved with students, especially freshman year. You have to be involved with them.
What's your method for building community? Because that seems to be a strong thing that you're interested in, is building healthy communities with people to keep a lot of people involved in something.
Common interest.
Okay.
There's common interest in everything. Even, the remote opposite people have common interests. But in Clarksville, we just kind of try to find something that we could agree on, and then usually talk about that or do that.
What are your plans for when you graduate?
Grad school. So, I want to go to grad school. I want to pay for grad school, so I want to find a job that'll help me pay for grad school. So I'm definitely on to the next thing. Okay. I'm thinking Northwest Arkansas, where I'm from.
Okay.
So, I'm definitely going to miss Clarksville. I was telling my wife, I was saying, Clarksville's small, and it's missing, a lot of my little favorite things from back home, but at the same time, it really became my second home. And I'm going to miss these little small things about it that I fell in love with, and the people in the University of Ozarks.
What small things stand out about being here at Ozarks?
I would say when I first got here, I met a lot of the faculty, and then I would see them at a restaurant, and then I would see them out, and then we'd see each other getting groceries. And it's really nice because, you'd wave, they wave, and it's that small town, like everyone kind of knows everyone. If someone has like a family death, then everybody comes together as a community. Just everyone just knowing how to help anyone. Our president has given me lots of opportunities to succeed. He's helped me many times. And so he didn't know me as a freshman or as a sophomore, but he definitely helped me. And so it's just them going out on a limb and putting their time and effort into the students. It's really, really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about your future, the path that you're putting yourself on with a political science degree? What is the most exciting thing about that for you?
I would say like serving my country, just kind of in a political role. Yeah. I've always wanted to make the world a better place, and I really don't like political division, so I'm just kind of working in other things besides politics right now. But yeah, I really want to make the world as best as I can, and it's kind of like I was a Boy Scout at one time, and so you leave it better than when you found it.
I like that. So
that's kind of my role.
I like that. What do you think you're leaving better at Ozarks than when you came in?
I tried to. When I got in SGA, I wanted to move around money for our events, right? And so I was like, I want to put a lot of money into our events and our giveaways. We do a lot of giveaways, and we give Xbox X's. Yeah. We just give the biggest prizes away. Yeah. And so I want to put a lot of money into that. And they're like, Cody, you can't do that. They're like, that's insane. And so, we found a compromise.
The partisan way of doing it.
Yeah. But listen, I was like, let's sink it all. And they're like, you're just going to sink the whole year's budget in that? I was like, yeah, but everybody will get like a huge prize. And they're like, no. And I was like, you thought about it. But we compromised. But it's just the stuff like that. I mean, this school is really cool. Yeah. Just hands-on. And a couple months ago when the first year started, my son needed milk and our power went out. And so I had to keep the milk cold while also heat it up for him when he needs it. And so the power's out. He's about to go to bed. He needs, a bottle. We come to the university and we literally go into one of the study rooms and we stay the night through the storm with the power on here. And our dean of students, told me to come. And so that's just the kind of community, like a family community. Yeah. They, helped me and my family. So, yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's a great place.
What's been your most memorable experience at University of the Ozarks so far?
Watching my kid grow up here.
That's awesome.
Just here at the university, we did the eclipse together. And when we saw the solar eclipse, we saw it all together as a family. We watched it, and I was here at the university and just seeing that moment and just looking around. It was really awesome for me.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I've got one final question.
Yeah.
This final question for this, because then we do a speed round after this.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna do a nice like rapid fire, quick questions, quick answers. But you're gonna have a free weekend. We're just imagining that you have a free weekend. You got nothing to do. What do you put on the plans for your free weekend?
Oh man. Okay. So I'll give you two scenarios.
Okay.
So I'm a father, so I have to play this. I have to play this correctly. So the two scenarios is, one is what I should do, or might do, and that's household chores, right? That's like the laundry, the dishes that maybe got missed. I usually wash the dishes pretty good, but just household chores, cleaning, mopping, weed eating, stuff like that. Gotta help out. So that, but to be honest with you, I'm an adventurer, huge adventurer. So I'll drive, 2 hours to go try this like 200-old restaurant.
Yeah.
In fact, I did that actually a couple months ago. I went down the couple miles down the road. There's an old restaurant. So yeah, it's just all these little hidey holes. I'm a big explorer, or like to go shopping, big clothes shopping person.
Yeah.
So I'll drive to Russellville or Fort Smith, and so yeah.
So what type of things are just around Clarksville that?
So as far as Clarksville, we have a few like little local stops.
Okay.
We definitely have a lot of local goods, which is kind of cool. We make a lot of breads, which is sweet. I love sourdough and coffee. We have coffee shops.
Well, that's the main section. Now it's time for the rapid fire.
Oh man, this rapid fire's got me scared.
That's the point. It's really to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Here we go. Perfect. All right. What's your favorite food in the cafeteria?
Oh, I'll be honest with you. We're going to have to redo this moment because I don't eat in the cafeteria. Yeah.
So then what's your favorite thing to eat in Clarksville?
I would say my favorite place in Clarksville would have to be Wrecked Canoe. I liked Wrecked Canoe. We have a little restaurant on the side of town called Wrecked Canoe.
Wrecked Canoe.
Yeah.
What's your dish?
They have live music. They have all kinds of stuff. So they have Cuban sometimes. They change it up sometimes. But I like a burger from there. Just a simple guy. Or jump over to Casper's right here.
Okay.
Get a steak. They have a massive steak there
That sounds great.
It'll definitely leave you feeling like you've, carrying a lot more weight afterwards when you walk out.
Yeah, you eat good.
Yeah, you don't need to eat for a few days.
What's your go-to coffee order at the campus coffee shop?
Okay, so I like a lot of espresso.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually do white chocolate with oat milk and then iced with espresso. I'm not allergic to milk. I just like oat milk apparently now. I just discovered it like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Super on board.
Yeah, it's delicious. Oat milk is great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, can we start making it ourselves? They're like, no, it doesn't go like that. I was like, okay, never mind.
You can actually. You find on YouTube, somebody will show you how to make oat milk.
I've been watching the oat bags. Like they put it in the bag. And I'm on board. Yeah, but I use Oatly, so I'm kind of dedicated to Oatly right now.
Really in for Oatly.
Yeah.
What's the name of the mascot here at University of the Ozarks?
Oh, so we're Eagle.
Okay.
So we've toyed around with bringing that back. I don't know if we have an official name for it. I always like to think it's Eddie, like Eddie the Eagle.
Eddie the Eagle?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a friend named Eddie, so I need to make sure that's cool with him before I say that. But I've always imagined it as Eddie the Eagle. It definitely is a little bit different than the other ones we have in the state. So, yeah.
If your time here at the university was a theme song, what song would it be?
Oh, man. I don't know if this would give off the bad energy, but We Are the Champions by, I don't know. I mean,
is that Queen?
I would say so. Yeah, We Are the Champions by Queen.
Okay.
I think so. I think it's Queen.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was definitely a great process. I went from a student that didn't think I was a college type student to coming here and getting B's, then getting A's and B's, then getting 1B. And so, yeah, I definitely learned how to, just put in the right time and energy into the right things. And it helped me. And it's helped me a lot with other things.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
If you could take a fun course outside of your major, what course do you think you would take?
Okay, so there's two. One of them's just for my own interest, but it's kind of in my major, but I have no need for it, is war. I take strategic studies, which is very similar to war, but just war. We had a war course, just war.
Can you explain a little bit more?
So war is actually the study of war is just the study of wars throughout history.
Yeah.
But you try to focus away from the ones you've been taught now. So you obviously would move out of United States history and move on to like European politics and different wars. And it also helps you to be more culturally kind of respectful of these groups when you know their history.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely that class. Or I've always wanted to learn how to pottery. Like I've always wanted to learn how to build pottery and then take it home and be like, I built this and it's amazing. Or just put it in the cabinet and just act like it's been there the whole time and then see her reaction and be like, that's a quality one, right? And then she'll probably just be like, yeah, that's really bad. I don't know what Goodwill you got this from, but take it back.
Yeah, take it back to the Goodwill.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm trying to do. That's my goal, is to build something. So I like
do some pottery.
Yeah.
Pottery's really fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
All right, next question. If you only had one app to survive college, what app would it be?
One app to survive college.
Your phone loses all apps except this one app.
Microsoft Word. Yeah, I could survive on Microsoft Word.
Do you do a lot of your schoolwork on your phone?
Oh yeah. Oh well. Okay. So yes and no. So I have a system. I fire up my iPad. I get on Microsoft Word. I get on Microsoft Word on my phone, and then I voice text on my phone, and walk usually around my office or usually around the house, or and then I come back and I edit it and fix grammar and. Yeah, fix it a little bit, but sometimes I write a little bit of papers like that.
That's super clever.
I've done probably 6 pages on an essay before like that. I was walking around my house and my wife was like, "You should just get stuff done." So I put in some headphones and started speaking and got it, and then went back. I definitely went off on a tangent because she came up and started talking to me, and I was like talking about how I was going to take out the trash, and I was like, "Oh no, delete. This did not happen in the mid-century." So yeah, that's definitely, you have to make sure you catch everything. So you have to reread. But when you finish that type of essay or that type of assignment, you're going to reread it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And then it'll be a little bit stronger because you've edited it.
Yeah. So absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Now, if you were to condense your college experience into emojis, what emojis would you use? Okay.
One of the ones that are scared. The smiling one with the tear.
Yeah.
I always feel like that's more of like a, I'm doing great, but man, it's been hot or something like that.
It's a little bit of sweat coming down.
Yeah. So I would say that one, but really just the thumbs up and stuff like that, and then the wave. It just went by. Once you get over that hump of the first freshman year or just your first year, then it just goes by so fast, and then you're kind of like, I'm graduating. Oh. It's no longer about like, I was super excited to graduate. It's kind of like, wow, I'm about to graduate. It's kind of scary. Yeah. I'm excited, but it's definitely scarier.
Yeah. Change is always scary.
Oh, yeah.
And my personal thing, what is a piece of advice that you would want to offer someone from where you are right now?
Oh, man. I would say think about every opportunity that's given to you. Mm-hmm. And utilize the ones that should be utilized. And so, that was one thing for me. For a student, I definitely didn't focus on school. But when I got to Ozarks, it helped me. It was definitely a different community, different school.
Yeah.
So it helped me focus and be straight and narrow on kind of grades and just kind of learning a little bit better.
Well, thanks for joining me, Cody. It was actually really cool getting to know you.
Well, thank you for having me. I just want to shout out to my wife at home, Ashton, and our baby Rowan. But it was a great conversation, and welcome to our little home.
Thank you.
I'm glad you got to be here for a little bit and got to experience it. So, yeah.